Hey guys, it's me Jocelyn. So today I'm going to be showing you some effects you can use to improve your edits. You can do this on any editing program, Alight Motion, CapCut, After Effects, Video Star, whichever one you want. I'm just going to be showing you how to do it on Alight Motion because it's just really easy and that's the main app I use for tutorials on this channel. So yeah, let's just get started. First things first, we're going to do a saturation fade or like a tint fade. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and add on either tint or saturation. I'm going to be adding on saturation since that's the name of the effect. Now, there's two different ways you can do this. You can have a saturation coming in or a saturation going out. So what I mean by coming in is you're going to want to add a keyframe. Turn your saturation all the way down. Another keyframe right about at the end or pretty close to it. Set it back to 0. And this will be like a saturation coming in. Now, these I feel are really best when you have a transition and then you're overlapping another transition on top of that one. Like, say I have a cube coming on top of this picture, I would do a saturation in, like, you know, from normal color to black because it kind of looks like something else is happening in the photo underneath that as well. And another thing you can do is you can zoom in your photo. So you can go to move and transform. So just say I have like a cube on top of this or whatever, just pretend it's hidden or something, I don't know. And then what you want to do is you can add 2 keyframes, one at the beginning, one at the end, and then you can just slightly zoom your photo in. So while you already have a photo on top, like we'll just do this. Say I have this right here. Since the background is zooming in and turning colors, it looks like multiple things are happening at once while there's also a transition happening on top. I figured out this way just by being like bored and messing around with transitions or whatever, and I found it makes my edits look so much better and it looks like I spent more time on it when really I just spent a couple extra minutes on it. This next effect also has to do with saturation or tint, and this one is kind of like making it flicker. So whenever I have a clip that's long or an audio that has a lot of beats on one individual clip, I'm going to go ahead and do this effect. So what you want to do is you want to add on your saturation or your tint, whichever one for whichever program you use. You're going to want to add a keyframe, move just a couple frames forward, turn your saturation all the way down, a couple frames forward, and then just turn it back up. Now in After Effects you can just copy these keyframes and paste them, but unfortunately you can't do that on here, so I'm just going to go ahead, scroll through, and do the rest of these. So as you can see, it looks like it's flickering. It's like the photo is switching multiple colors at a time. So this looks like movement if you have something else going on top of it, like I mentioned for the last effect. It looks like you spent a lot of time on this, but really it literally took 3 seconds. But it's like the small things in your edit, but you know it's there and it makes you feel good about it. I don't know, that's how I feel like when I add on little effects like this. I feel like, wow, that looks a lot better than if it were just plain and nothing was going on in the background. Now this is one I really want to highlight. Add exposure flash to each and every one of your clips. It doesn't matter if it's like an effect coming in or out. Please add it on to each one of your clips at the very beginning. I promise you it makes such a big difference. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and add on either brightness or exposure. Add a keyframe at the beginning and at the end, and on the very first keyframe, just turn the exposure up as much as you'd like. So as you can see, the light is obviously fading out because we keyframed it to go out. But this on the beginning of each one of your clips is going to look so good in your edit that I do. And if you want to check my edits out, I edit even on Alight Motion, After Effects, whatever I'm editing on. I will always make sure, even in velocity edits, to add on an exposure. Because, I don't know, I feel like it really does a lot for the clip. Not only does it brighten it up so you can see it better, it kind of tells you when the next clip is happening as well. This next one is specifically good for like PNG pop-ups or like, I don't know, wipe ring transition. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and add on tiles or mirror your photo and make sure you have motion blur on as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go and spin this photo. So we're going to add 1 keyframe at the beginning and 1 at the end, and we're going to spin it all the way around to around 180. Now you can add on a graph if you want. I personally like this graph right here, because it doesn't happen too fast, but it also doesn't happen too slow. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add on a blur as well. So like if I had a photo popping up on top of this, which is pretty much what most of these effects are used for, is to kind of like mimic that something really like different is happening in the background of your transition. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add on Gaussian blur. And I'm going to keyframe it from 0 to as much as you want. I don't like to do a ton of blur. I like to do it a little to show like, yeah, something's happening, but you can still see what's like the picture itself. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so let me just like give you an example. If I had this picture on top of it and it like faded in or something, it would be like this, like, oh wow, that one's moving, but this one's also moving too. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to sound silly, but that's it. Now this last one is perfect for when a transition is ending and a new one is beginning, and this is an offset slide. So what you want to do is go on to your move and transform and add on offset. Now we're going to be sliding it down, so you're going to want to select Y, add a keyframe at the beginning and at the end, and then just slide it down as much as you want. Now you don't want it to look like it just started going down. You want it to like kind of look like it was sitting there at first and then just start going down. So we're going to do this graph, and then like it goes bam, like really fast. Now I'm also going to copy this graph and add on directional blur, because motion blur doesn't work with offset, like it doesn't detect it, so you have to like manually add it on. So I'm going to add on directional blur. Don't forget to put your angle at 90, and then I'm just going to keyframe it same way I keyframe the other one, and then copy the graph. So it looks like this. And yeah, that was pretty much it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and comment down below any tutorial requests you guys might have. I love you guys. Bye.